Hey everyone, this is Erin Bassett, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how I created this summer fun mini album. I used a 6x6 chipboard album for it, and I did some painting on the inside, used scrapbook papers, pens, brads, ribbons, all that type of stuff, and of course my ScanNCut machine by Brother. So let me show you the techniques I used with my ScanNCut machine to create this album. First is using the scan function to do a direct cut. Like the word adventure, I just hand wrote that and then have the machine scan it and cut it out. Same with that word crafts and the words fun on this one. Once again, just my handwriting, and then I use the machine. So to get started with this technique, I took my pen and just wrote out the word adventure. It's best if all of your letters connect, because that way it will cut it out as one word or one die cut. So then I'm just going to adhere my paper onto my sticky mat and then load it into my machine. Just hold the paper in place, get my machine set up, and then hit that load button and it will load. And then you can click on scan and then direct cut, and then you'll push the start button. And then it'll start scanning. Okay, so once it's finished scanning, you can hit OK, and you'll see your paper on the screen there. And then just drag those handles around whichever part of your paper you want to have cut out. Now I'm putting a margin around mine of just 0.04, but you can also change it to any margin or not put a margin if you want it cut exactly around it. Then just click OK and cut, and then you'll push that start button again and it will cut out your word. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so the next technique is welding shapes together. So like I did for this tag, I did the tag shape and also that ampersand. For this, I did the tag shape and the word memories. So to get started, we'll just clear off our thing, delete it, and then go ahead and click patterns, and then these designs. Now you can see there's different categories. This is the nature category, there's the food category. We're going to go into the tags and just pick out whichever one you want. And you can adjust the size, the height, and the width, and click OK. And then you can go ahead and rotate it by hitting that rotate button. I'm going to do 90 degrees and click set. And I can also increase the number of tags if I wanted to. I'm just going to stick with one. Click OK. So you can see it there on my mat. Let me go back to the adjustment screen, and I can go and change the height and width if I'd like to. And make it about 3 inches, I think. Then click OK. So everything's set. I click OK. And then I can add. Go back into patterns. I'm going to click letters. Pick this font. Switch it over to the numbers. Pick the ampersand. Set OK. Now I can change the size. Again, at the bottom it shows the height and the width. I can change it if I'd like to. And then move it onto my tag how I'd like. So you can see if I wanted to cut it, it would cut individually. Then I can go back into my mat and hit zoom if I need to take a closer look. And then if I hit those 3 boxes together and then hit this button, it will select all of my images. Then I can hit that and it will want to unify my pattern, which once you do it, you can't undo it. So make sure you want to weld it. And then click OK, and you can see it's welded together. So I can adjust the size for all of that together at one point if I want to. And when I'm ready, just hit OK and then cut. Okay, so here's another example of how I welded some shapes together. I click the home button, delete what's on my screen, go back into patterns, I'll go back into those designs, hit the tags again, choose a tag that I want, and I can adjust the size if I want to. And then click OK. Then you can rotate it if you'd like to. I'm going to again do 90 degrees. And then set. So you can see there it is on my mat. So then I'll click OK and add back into patterns. Choose the alphabet and a font. And now I'm going to type out the word memories, if I can spell it correctly. And then OK. Now I can adjust for the size again. I'm going to have shorter letters. So I think that's good, about 1/2 inch. And then I can just drag my letters where I want to on my tag. Click OK. And if you want to see them close up, remember you can always zoom. Forgot to show you that part. And then if I want to weld them, I can pick those 3 boxes, hit that button, it'll select both of them, hit OK, hit the weld button, and click OK. And there it is, they're stuck together. So OK, and if I want to save it, I can save it to my machine, or I can save it to a USB. So then just when I'm ready, go back out and hit cut, and then hit the load button, load your mat in, and start. And next I'll show you how I cut out the shapes that are on my machine. Here's some examples: that scallop circle, the heart. Okay, so I'm going to go back and hit the home button, delete what's on my mat, go into patterns, and then shapes. You can see there's 12 different pages of shapes. You can just scroll through and pick whichever you want, and then go ahead and resize it. Just like all the other screens, they have continuity, so you know what you're doing. You can increase the number of circles that we're going to cut out. Do 3. And then you can always add other shapes if you want, or maybe throw on a smaller circle. So we'll just throw that on. Hit set. So you can see it's right there. And because the mat's divided into quadrants like that, you can go ahead and put 6x6 papers down and cut out a bunch of things at once on different papers. So I really like that. So we'll add a heart to it, and it's great that you can pick that button that's purple right now, and you can change just the height or just the width. So it'll be, you know, the size that you want. So you can add that to your mat too. See, let's add one more shape. How about a scallop circle? Just change that, click set, and we'll just make sure that all of these fit in there. So you can change the size on this one, make it a little bigger, and then you can move it over to here. Okay, so once I get that little quadrant all situated, I can click OK. And you can see my things are on there. And then I can add a tag over here. I like this one. So go ahead and select it, and then adjust the size, the height and the width, and then click OK. And then we have it right there, so we'll set it onto our mat. I'm going to put it in this upper right quadrant. Click OK. You can always go here and adjust it if I think I need to, or if I want to increase the number. I can always do that. Bring this one down to this quadrant and make it slightly bigger, so that way I can layer them up. So that should be good. I'll put that in that quadrant and hit OK. So you can see each quadrant is, you know, pretty good to go. Hit OK, cut, And then I can load my mat and hit start. So you can see here how you're able to put different colors of paper on the same mat and line it up because of the grid that's on the mat. So it's really handy if you're using scrap paper or the 6x6 pieces of paper. Okay, so this is how you cut borders, like I did on this page. Okay, so you go ahead and turn on your machine, go into patterns, go into borders, and go into whatever pattern you want to. You can see there's 11 screens of patterns. So just scroll through there, pick the one you want. And once again, you can change the size if you'd like to. I'm going to go a little bit smaller. You can rotate it too, so if you need it to fit on your paper that you're cutting out, you can do that. Of course, increase the number if you want more than one cut out. Then OK, and cut. And here's a peek at my scrapbook, how it turned out. You can see with the cover here that I welded the word summer and that bracket piece together, and also cut out those letters that say fun on it. And then here's the inside pages. Okay, and that's it. Go ahead and stop by my blog, ErinBassett.com, for more ideas and inspiration. And to learn more about the ScanNCut machine, visit Brothers ScanNCut at ScanNCut.com.